with these hands is made possible by the Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy, with support from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, and additional support from the Leelanau Conservancy, the Old Mission Conservancy, and the Grand Traverse Regional Community Foundation.
On the surface, farmers are about growing food: apples, cherries, grain, cattle. But deep down, they are about growing home. Their neighbors, parishioners, teachers, and friends in the Michigan communities of the Old Mission and Leelanau peninsulas. They are the roots of a place where nature crafted a climate so unusual as to make it almost unique in the world. There is a culture in agriculture we can feel, but often forget. It's a more subtle way of life, balanced to the rhythms of the seasons, a story written in longhand over the pages of time. It tells of simple things that slowly transform the earth, of quiet people who gently change our lives. They steward a land that eases the eye along the back roads, with cherry blossoms, rolls of hay, nodding heads of rye. It takes a longer, closer look to see what else they do along the way.
Rex Dobson lives on the farm his great-grandfather homesteaded, with a land grant for his service in the Civil War. In his family's care, this Leelanau County land has prospered. The fields proclaim the work of many hands over many years. The old farmhouse has not changed much since great-grandpa Core built it around 1876. When Rex's mother made it her home, she painted it white with red shutters, and Rex has kept it that way. In the kitchen, where many a visitor stops, her cook stove still warms his days.
This stove here is, my folks put it in 1937. Has a fire in it pretty near every day. There was a couple days last summer it didn't have any. It helps your disposition to have a wood stove burning, hot crackling fire. Then it gets to be a real stormy nights. The wind comes howling down the chimney, whistles. A lot of people, they'll never know that experience. It's just something kind of nice to know. So would you like a cup of tea?
Rex walked a mile to the Bingham Township schoolhouse, where his grandparents met and fell in love, and where he had the same teacher his mother did. At high school in Traverse City, he was pretty well set on being a farmer, and that made his father happy. Rex's folks are buried up at the Bingham Cemetery, and he often takes a cream can over to water the flowers. He brings forget-me-nots in spring and tries to keep it as nice as he can, because a lot of the old people are there. Rex's days follow the course of the seasons, or as close as he can get anyway. Rex says he doesn't know of anybody who's caught up, that being a farmer means always being behind. There's hay in June, cherries in July, rye, wheat, oats, and alfalfa coming on by mid-August, corn in late October. He spreads his risk with a variety of crops. The family farm is going by the wayside, he says, because it's getting harder for small farmers to make ends meet. Rex worked with the Leelanau Conservancy and the Michigan DNR to preserve most of his family's farm.
It would be nice not to have it split up, parceled off, because that's a temptation. Taxes and the way the farm economy is, sell some land. And that's what is happening so much of the Leelanau County anyway. I would just as soon keep the farm the way it is, preserve it. Because my great-grandparents and my grandpa and grandma and my folks, they worked real hard to get where we are now.
The farm includes a small settlement of outbuildings, each with a history and a story or two. Rex's great-grandfather built the barn around 1870 with hand-hewn oak beams and thick hemlock boards. Nearby are the granary, the cookhouse, pig house, and the buggy house. In the hen house, a solitary rooster crows and cusses to himself. The corn crib, says Rex, is where the kiddies have their breakfast and supper, under the watchful eye of his collie, Laddie. On the buildings, in the gardens, Rex's hand lends the farm an artist's touch. In the magic of Christmas time, he transforms a roadside sunflower into a radiant candy cane. Rex's finest creation lies within a little building made by his grandfather. Over a century ago, Perry Core built a shanty with a chimney to keep his American Indian workers snug in late fall when the early snows danced around the corn shocks. His farm was a half-mile from the original family homestead where Rex lives. When it passed out of the family, Rex towed the shanty to his place and made this tiny shelter a harbor for his family's heritage. Inside the shanty, old hand tools sprout from every hook, nook, and nail, and Great-Grandma's cook stove adds warmth, with or without a fire. Up here are Grandma's roller skates. Over there is Uncle Ray's volleyball with the names of everyone on the Bingham baseball team since 1903. Generations of family farmers. Photographs offer a rare chance to row backward against time, to explore the tributaries that flow into the stream of days. Rex has arranged his mother's side here, his father's side there, a bit of Rex within their faces, a bit of them within his life. Rex preserves these touchstones for his own satisfaction, but he enjoys sharing them as he works to maintain the character of his farm. People stop by as visitors, as customers for crops, as students of history. They marvel at this chance to touch another time, to feel another way of life. But there is more to the farm than things. Objects only come to life in the hands of those who give them meaning. It is Rex that imbues this place with a sense that the past is yet the present. It is his influence that cultivates the heart as well as the soil. He is the thread that connects the patiently woven strands of hope over generations. In the shanty, Rex jingles the straps of sleigh bells that cheered many a winter's ride. They don't make them like this anymore, he says. They don't have the same tone. He reaches below them and lifts out a fawn-colored brick, its chipped edges cradled in his hand. Before Rex moved the shanty, he dismantled the chimney, and when he rebuilt it, he cleaned the old mortar off the bricks. On one of them, he uncovered a message from his grandfather that only a careful, caring hand might find. A whisper of faith stretching through time.
I was dumbfounded. I couldn't hardly believe my eyes when I seen that. As far as scrape the mortar off, and here there's writing on that brick. It said, in pencil, famous little shanty, everything is fine, 1892, PA Corps. It's Perry Corps. Everything is fine.